Fox 28. Good Day Columbus starts now.
Welcome back. You probably know how much money's in your checking account right now and for sure in your wallet. But do you know a far more important number, your credit score? Benjamin Klekotka is here from Barrett Mortgage to talk about that. Great to see you. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Listen, I'm great. Lots of us wondering what our credit score is these days. And I know for me, mine's probably taken a hit the past couple of years. Lots of people in the same boat. Let's talk about credit score, what it is and why it's so important.
As everybody's realized over the past few years, the credit market has tightened a little bit, and creditors are looking at these scores, and the scores are a representation of how well you pay your debts, how well you manage your money. So
they're looking at your payment history and your debt-to-income ratio.
Correct, and it affects everything from buying a house, buying a car, to getting a job. So it is very important now.
We hear so much, Benjamin, about free credit reports and the three major credit reporting agencies. We'll give you one per 6-month period, I think. But that doesn't include your actual score, and it's important to know, isn't it?
Correct. If you're going to be doing something soon, something that's coming up, and you want to get the free credit report, go ahead and pay to have the scores done. Depending on what you're doing, whether you're buying a house or buying a car, the scores will be a little bit different, but at least it gives you a good ballpark of where you are and where you want to be.
So pay the extra money to find out the actual score. What nowadays is considered a good score?
From the mortgage standpoint, we would like to see something above a 620.
Okay.
Each industry will have its own benchmarks.
Okay.
But for most mortgage loans, a 620 would be the minimum.
So what kinds of things can we do to repair our credit and improve our score? And again, there are lots of paid services that say they can do that for you.
There really isn't a reason to pay anybody to fix the report. You can do it yourself. The most important thing is to be current on the payments. If you have late payments and they're not caught up yet, call the creditors, get those caught up, and over time the scores will recover on their own.
It could take some time for a serious hit on your credit like a bankruptcy. Talk about how much time it could take to repair some things.
Most credit will stay on your report for 7 years. Bankruptcies can stay up to 10.
Okay.
But from our standpoint, we will look back over the last 2 years will be the majority of the credit score. So if you have a late payment that's 4 or 5 years ago, the scores have recovered from that.
Okay.
But if it's a few months ago, it will take some time.
It'll take some time for that. You talk about paying your payments on time, and the due date is one thing, and we know there's a grace period, and some people tend to stretch that. When really is that going to be reported? After 30 days?
It is 30 days.
30 days.
It is 30 days. You will have up to that point to get the payments in. Anytime after 30 days, the creditors will report that to the bureaus.
There's been a change in thinking, too, when it comes to credit card debt. And at one time, they advised you to have lots of available credit at zero. And now we're hearing that the credit reporting agencies don't like for you to have tons of credit at your disposal. They'd rather see your debt managed better, not just a whole bunch of zeros. Is that correct?
The most important thing to have is if you have a credit card that's several years old, it's a national card, and even if you don't use it, leave it alone. Let it sit there. It's a payment history that a creditor can look back on you and determine whether or not you can make payments in the future. What I tell my customers is don't run out and get a whole bunch of credit cards at once just to show that you can get them.
Okay.
It's not going to help you out right away.
All right, just to have that available credit.
Right.
All right, so lots of things to think about. We do want to get that credit report, get all three of them from the three reporting agencies and pay the extra money, get the credit score, because it can take, about how long can it take once you find the errors or fix some of your payments?
If you make a dispute through one of the reporting agencies, they have 30 days to get with the creditor, and the creditor has to respond within those 30 days or the item has to come off.
Okay, it's just so important to think about that and know exactly what other people are finding out about you, isn't it? All right, from Barrett Mortgage, Benjamin Klekotka, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
It's great advice.